Hello, friends. Happy Friday. Today we are working on lesson 6 in your math book. Same workbook that we work in every day. Lesson 6 is on page 41. Today we're going to be looking at problem-solving investigation. And when we do problem solving in 3rd grade, we use a 4-step plan. The first step is always to understand. We want to read the word problem and then ask the question, what facts do you know? What do you know by reading this right here? Then we're going to set a plan. What are we going to do to solve this problem? And then we're going to solve it. And finally, we will check it. We'll check our answers to see how close we are. If you're following along with us, we're on page 41. You can read with me, or you can just listen. I'm reading right here. Dina's family went to a zoo on their vacation. They learned that a roadrunner is 1 foot tall. An African elephant is 12 feet tall. How much taller is the African elephant than the roadrunner? That's the question that we're answering today. I want you to underline the question that you need to answer. How much taller is an African elephant than a roadrunner? That's it right there. See how I underlined it? I know it's a question because it has the word how in it and it has a question mark. We just learned about that. So let's understand it a little bit. What facts do we know based on this information right here? What do we know? The roadrunner is how many feet tall? Find that in there. How tall is the roadrunner? Do you see it? There it is. The roadrunner is 1 foot tall. Circle it in your book. The roadrunner is 1 foot tall. Let's write it down. We know that because it tells us right there. We didn't have to guess. It was right there. How about the African elephant? Can you find how tall that is? How tall is the African elephant? Find it in your story here and circle it. There it is. An African elephant is 12 feet tall. I circled it in my story. And then I can put my answer right here. My pen's running out because I'm holding up my book. There we go. An African elephant is 12 feet tall. What do I need to know? What is this question asking me? What I need to know is how much taller an African elephant is than a roadrunner. Yes. I want to know how much taller an African elephant is than a roadrunner. Now, how am I going to do this? What's my plan going to be? Because we're doing math, there are a couple of plans that we can use. We can use one of our math symbols. We can add, we can subtract, we can multiply, or we can divide. I could answer my problem using one of those strategies. I also could use something called guess and check. Guess and check is one of my favorites because you're making a guess, you're checking your answer. Sometimes you're right, sometimes you're wrong. If you're wrong, you try again. Guess and check. The third strategy that we like to use a lot in 3rd grade is draw a picture. And when you're drawing a picture, you're really putting it all out there on your paper. I like to see things. I'm a very visual person, so I use draw a picture a lot. These are 3 of the strategies that you might want to use. So that's our plan. Our plan is to use one of those strategies. Which one do you think you'll use? We're trying to figure out how much taller is an elephant than a road runner. Would you use a math symbol and make a math problem? Would you just make a guess? Or would you draw a picture? What would you do? And now it's time to solve. I think my plan, I'm going to use subtraction. This is going to be my plan right here. I'm going to solve it using subtraction by saying, what is the height of the elephant? Tell me, how tall was the elephant? Yes, 12. It was 12 feet high. And how tall was that road runner? 1 foot high. If I use subtraction and I subtract 12 from 1, I'm going to get the answer 11. And I know that that's what's left over. That's the difference between that elephant and that road runner. My elephant is 11 feet taller than the road runner. And I've done this one on solve. My elephant is 11 feet taller than my road runner. I'm going to check my answer just to make sure. Does that make sense? When we check our answers, that's the question that we're asking. Does that make sense? And in this case, I'm going to have you think about an elephant. Think about that big giant elephant and think about a little road runner. The elephant was 12 feet tall. The road runner's 1 foot tall. Does that make sense that the elephant is about 11 feet taller? Yeah, it does. If you really want to check it over, you can flip it backwards and say 11 is their difference plus the road runner gets us the height of an elephant. You can reverse it to check your answer. But that's a little bit more complex. I can understand if you're not quite there yet. But visualizing it and seeing that your answer makes sense is what you want to do for checking. That is what we do for problem solving and investigation. If you want to practice that strategy, you're going to go to the next page. Page 42. On page 42, we have a new problem up here. And then instead of it giving you the answers, it gives you a nice big space to write your own answers. Here's the story that you'll be looking at. Alex wants to buy a train ticket to his grandfather's house. The one-way ticket costs $43. A round-trip ticket costs $79. Is it less expensive to buy 2 one-way tickets or 1 round-trip tickets? So this one's going to be tricky. You're going to have to do a lot of work on this page to see the differences between the tickets. A one-way ticket just gets you to Grandpa's. A round trip means you go to Grandpa's and then you can come back home. So this is your practice page. If you don't like this question or you want to do a different question, you can use this same practice page for these questions. Again, this is practice for you. And when you turn the page for your homework, our homework goes along with lesson 6. That's the lesson we just learned. Again, here's what I was teaching. Here's the 4 problem-solving steps. Understand, plan, solve, and check. And then here's your problem down here that you're going to be doing. You can put your work right in here. That's where you'd put your answer. And then you flip it to the back side. There are 4 more problems to do. This is where you put your answers for these 4 problems. So your homework that goes with the lesson is this page right here. If you did not understand, go back to the beginning and look at the problem-solving strategies with us, these 3, and follow the directions with us. I hope you enjoyed lesson number 6 for Friday. When you're done with your homework, put it in a folder so that you don't lose it, and have a fantastic weekend.